Hello, welcome to another vlog. Anywho, hope you are all well out there in this world that we call home. Crazy, crazy world. So, hope we're all well out there. So I thought to just turn the camera on and just chin wag for a little bit to the camera. Yes, it's not a real mouse, people. It is the cat's toy that I just decided to pick up for some reason and do this with. I don't know why. Anyway, so what have I been up to recently? Nothing massively significant. Mostly just working. Things at work I'm hoping are going to start to get better. I mean, it's still a bit too early to really say, but I've been there now 3 weeks at my new job, and I have had a little bit of encouraging feedback that there seems to be seeing some improvement with me, and I'm getting used to the role a little bit more. So hopefully that's going to continue, and everything should hopefully work out well in the end. So yeah, so I've been working. Obviously, I only work 4-day weeks, but I work pretty long days. Those 4 days. So my new job, it works on a 4-day on, 3-day off. So I've got Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off every week. So it's pretty good that way. It's pretty good, really. So yeah, so I've been working, and just this weekend I've just pretty much been chilling out, really. I've not really done anything. The only thing I did do was yesterday. I went to go and see the new James Bond film, No Time to Die. So I went to go and see that yesterday with my dad, which was a bit of a surprise because I don't think I've ever been to see a film with my dad, like, ever. Yeah. That was a little bit of a surprise when my dad actually turned around and actually said, "Yeah, I'll probably go and see that with you." So I booked me and my dad a ticket to go and see it. No Time to Die, the James Bond film. So yeah, that was a bit of a surprise, to say the least. My mum, well, basically, kind of like my dad, for instance. My dad has never really been. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he's never been to the cinema. I think obviously when he was a kid and everything, or younger, in his younger days and that, obviously it was normal to go and see a film or a motion picture, as they would have called it back then. Well, we still call them motion pictures now, but we don't really call them that anymore. We just call them films or movies. But yeah, so obviously my dad has obviously been to cinema in his past and in his youth or whatever. But when I was a kid and that growing up, my dad really never really bothered. He never really had an interest in going to see films at the cinema. So it was kind of left more or less. Well, my mum was the one that took me to see the films that I wanted to see. My mum took me to see The Lion King and Toy Story, and they're literally the first 2 films I ever saw as a kid at the cinema. And I believe The Lion King was first, and Toy Story was the second one I ever saw as a kid. And my mum equally got very enthusiastic with the films I went to see, because obviously I went to see a lot of the Disney films and other films that was out at the time as well, and my mum would go and see them with me, or take me to see them, because my dad wouldn't bother. I mean, I know I'm probably coming over in a way and probably portraying my dad in a negative light with saying that. Is obviously, that's not the case. I mean, my dad obviously he's supported us, he's worked hard for us, he's put food on the table, put a roof over our heads, and things of that nature. He's been a very supportive dad. But when it comes to the films that I liked or still like or watch now, my dad's not a big fan of films of that nature. Usually, he doesn't like anything like Marvel or anything like that. He don't really like the new stuff. The only films my dad might watch is, as long as it's a British film, someone like Michael Caine, or I've got a very good British actor or British films. My dad's not a big fan of the gun-ho American approach in films and all that kind of thing. Even though my dad got me onto Rambo and all these Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff, my dad got me onto the real corny, cheesy American action stuff when I was I was a kid. So really, my dad can't really say anything because my dad got me onto those type of films that happen to be an American film. but anyways, but no, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's just like my dad's one of these people, or one of these guys. He's not really into the stuff that I like. I like my fantasy. I like my science fiction, Star Wars, and I like to see the odd Disney film now and again, and I like to see. I love my animation. I've always been drawn to animation ever since we've been a kid, I mean, I love. I've been to see DreamWorks stuff and Pixar and Disney and anything really that I felt, ooh, that looks interesting, kind of thing. And I love all sorts of films really, and but my dad's very, he sticks to his ways, and my dad only kind of watches mostly black and white films. Not like there's anything wrong with that, of course there isn't, but my dad's kind of stuck in his era, if you know what I mean. He's stuck in that time loop or time warp kind of existence where my dad only watches these old black and whites, and he watches the news constantly, which drives me frigging crackers because I'm sick of seeing the news. But no, I mean, that's literally my dad. He's very much like that. Some people might call it a bland way of life, but that's the way my dad is. But yeah, so me and him, we ended up going to see the new James Bond film. My dad really does he enjoys the James Bond films, all of them. From Sean Connery, all your Pierce Brosnan and all that. He likes them. He really does enjoy those films because they're British and some great actors in there that have portrayed Bond over the years, and obviously co-starring actors that were equally just as good. So yeah, me and my dad, Evan, I'm a big fan. I really enjoy the Bond films. I mean, I grew up during the Pierce Brosnan era, really. Pierce Brosnan was kind of my favourite Bond because he was my first Bond I really kind of watched at the time, because those films were coming out when I was probably in my late childhood, early teens, were the films he was bringing out. So yeah, but we both enjoyed it. We both enjoyed No Time to Die, the new one. My dad felt it kind of dragged a little bit, which I kind of agree. At the beginning it was a bit slow, but it really did come into its own, and it was I really quite enjoyed it. We both quite enjoyed it. I mean, I think it's the best one for Daniel Craig. When Daniel Craig was first announced, I was a bit critical of him because I just didn't really think he'd fit the bill. Even though he's a great actor and all, but I just didn't really imagine him playing James Bond, But, I've seen every single Daniel Craig film. Casino Royale, I think, is probably the weakest one out of his, my personal opinion. Nothing really happens. It's kind of like obviously starting up his arc, his storyline with the whole Spectre thing. that is the organisation that he ultimately is fighting against, really. So, Casino Royale is alright. But I think my favourites... I mean, I really quite enjoyed Skyfall. I thought that was a pretty decent film. And I don't mind Quantum of Solace either. But I generally think this one is probably my favourite of the Daniel Craig era for Bond. So No Time to Die, I really quite enjoyed. It was some really brilliant stunt work in there. Great action. The story and everything was pretty decent, even though it did drag. It was quite a long film. It was just short of 3 hours long. But end of the day, they had to finish a story arc that really needed an extra film, really, because it was kind of... If I remember rightly, I believe they wanted him to do another film, a fifth film, I believe. It was original. I think they wanted him to at least do one more film after this one, but Daniel Craig, it was his decision. He didn't want to do any more after this one. So obviously they've been building up to this big thing that's throughout the films of Daniel Craig's films, and they obviously had to ultimately conclude it all, you see. So it was a quite long runtime to be able to do that. So, but anyway, I mean, the James Bond films are generally quite long anyways, because when they're on TV, they're at least a good 2 hours or so. So they are pretty long films anyway in general, but end of the day, this was concluding his arc, and it was concluding the whole Spectre stuff that they were building up on. But no, man, I quite enjoyed it, and again, it was a bit of a surprise going to see a film with my dad, which is something I don't think has ever happened. Which is kind of interesting. But end of the day, it was cool. But so I'm back at work tomorrow. Obviously today's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday. So yeah, back to work, and I don't know what I'm going to do next week, at the weekend at all. Next week, I don't know. See what happens when it gets here, I guess. But yes, I've just been chilling out, really, just watching some Disney Plus, Netflix, and things like that, and yeah, just chilling out, really, in my spare time. So yeah, yeah, I live a very fulfilling life, don't I? Very fulfilling life. But no, I mean, end of the day, hopefully things are working out for me in other ways as well, like my financial situation. I mean, I don't want to go into details too much because obviously I don't want all this plastered. I don't want every little final detail of my life plastered all over YouTube, because that's not a very good idea. But basically, hopefully, my financial situation that I've been in since leaving, while I was working at Morrison's, my previous job, and now now that I'm in a new job, I'm now, it's now looking like I'm able to iron myself out and start putting money away, start my saving process, which I'm currently doing at the moment. So I'm putting money away in my savings account at the moment. So hopefully that's going to be the start of planning to do stuff, planning to go places. Of course, I want to do TF Nation next year, but I need to get the dates booked in for that as soon as I can. And then I don't know what else I'm going to do next year at the moment. And what I would like to do Download Festival next year, because obviously I haven't been during this whole pandemic or COVID situation. So I haven't been, and I've been wanting to go again, because I've only been once. So I wanted to go, but there is one thing. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. But no. Hopefully things can, slowly but surely start putting some money away. I also want to go away. I want to go abroad at some point as well. But obviously, I don't want to go away yet because it's a little bit too early, and there's still a lot of countries that are still, in a bad place with things at the moment. But obviously, I've spoken about me wanting to go to. I've spoken before about me wanting to go to Japan, and that is still something I really want to do. But at the moment, I've been kind of keeping up with what's going on in Japan, with the virus and everything, and even though they're finally starting to get a lot of jabs into people and everything, a lot of jabs in people's arms, which was a problem at the beginning. It was very, very slow, that process, but they've actually had quite a lot of problems with the virus spreading. So there's literally you can't go out the country, and you're not allowed to go into the country unless you're a citizen. Obviously, if you're a citizen, then obviously you've got to got to go through all that rigmarole. If you're a Japanese citizen, or if you live there or whatever. So yeah, but anyone like a tourist or anything like that, you're not allowed to. They're not accepting people at the moment. But it's looking like it could be at least a good part of another year until Japan is at a point where they feel they can invite people back into the country, and tourists and things. So I don't know if it's still going forward, but I've heard that America are apparently in November. They're looking at some point in November to start to open up again, to allow people to go there, like tourists, and things like that. People to travel there and see family or whatever, like that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that probably I would love to go to America. I want to go to New York. New York is like the place I've always wanted to go. I don't know why. I think it's mostly because most of the most famous movies ever made have literally been based in New York. So I generally want to go to New York. And then obviously there's other places in America I want to go to as well. But New York is like the place I really want to go to. So I'm kind of playing with options there, whether to go to New York or go somewhere in America, which looks a little bit more accessible. But of course it's going to take a little bit of time to get the desired amount of money I need. So I'm going to need quite a bit of money put away. So it's going to take at least a good maybe at least a year or so to of proper avid saving, in order to get whatever I need for either Japan or America. So like I say, I mean, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because you just don't know what's around the corner, do you? So, but hopefully, now that things are looking good for me financially, or a little bit more better for me financially, I want to. Hopefully, I can start to, like I am doing, start putting a bit away every month, and then. Hopefully, once we're into 2022 and I've got a little bit put away, I might maybe see about doing some stuff. Maybe not necessarily go abroad, but I think next year I wanna kind of at least maybe go for a weekend away, maybe now and again, or whatever, things like that. Just something simple. Just get away for a couple of days. But TF Nation, everything's crossed that that it will certainly come back or return as a physical event next year, and that is literally a priority for me to try and get those dates booked off with my new job at my new place. So I'm going to try and get that sorted out as soon as possible. Well, yeah, so that's today's vlog then, people. So thank you very much for watching. So I'm going to love you and leave you now. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, wherever you are, probably on Monday now. But enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you all soon, hopefully. So stay awesome, stay safe, everybody. And I'll be back very soon with more vlogs and more videos. I know I've been very neglectful of my channels. I know... I just, my new job has really kind of, these past 3 weeks has just been knackering because it's very, very manual, it's manual work, a lot of like lifting heavy things and it's just been also kind of the amount of having to learn and getting used to it it's just sapped me because there's only so much you can deal with at once, and you just start to kind of go, So, but yeah, so it's been a bit of a confusing and tiring first couple 2 or 3 weeks into my new job. But so yeah, I've just not really been in the mindset to really make any videos. But hopefully everything should work out fine. Like I said, any uploads from me are like today is most likely going to be over the weekend because Friday, Saturday, Sundays, those days are usually better for me and I'm more available to be able to do a video or do stuff like that. So anything from me is most likely going to be, unless I have already filmed something and then I might just upload it whenever, but usually I'm gonna do a video at the weekend for either channel, either of my channels. But yeah, so thank you very much. Bye bye. Stay awesome. See you soon. Bye bye.